Ontario's descent from being the economic engine that once drove Canada to becoming a recipient of federal bailout is largely the fault of a group of construction unions who present themselves as credible spokespeople for Ontario workers. They call themselves, fittingly enough, working families. But don't let the name fool you. There is nothing remotely family-orientated about them. They are big-time union bosses with big money and even bigger agendas to further entrench unionism in Ontario. Nothing whatsoever to do with family values. On their website, they describe their mission this way, quote, "Working Families was created by members of the labor movement with the goal of making voters aware of policies that threaten the well-being of working families in Ontario," end quote. Heartwarming, ain't it? Then they add this bit of posturing, quote, "It's time to stand up to the right-wing policies that pit one group of Ontarians against another," end quote. Working Families claims, now this is important, to speak for 250,000 hardworking Ontarians. But any honest person will tell you that union members are not monolithic and don't necessarily share the political commitments of the union bosses in working families. And the so-called contributions made by the so-called 250,000 strong members that fund working families, they're not contributions, not in the truest sense of the word. They're forced union dues. These contributions are simply deducted from members' pay like any other due, and union members have absolutely no say in this process and how that money's spent. So it is in fact disingenuous to claim that Working Families in fact speaks for 250,000 Ontarians. And in truth, you see, Working Families consist really only of 13 union bosses who represent 13 unions, mostly in the construction trade, the CAW, and 2 teacher unions. And they take dues from union members to fund TV ads that attack the Tories on behalf of the Liberal Party of Ontario. Now, of course, they deny this with absolute deniability. Quote, says their spokesperson, "We're not partisan organization." That's from Pat Dillon, a union boss with ties to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, the IBEW, and the Building Trades Council of Ontario, a collection of unions. He's also a member of several government agencies like the WSIB and the College of Trades, a newly minted Liberal-backed union-controlled enforcement agency for the construction trade sector and other related trades. Dillon, incidentally, is also a very loyal supporter and friend of, Dalton McGuinty. Now, frankly, it's hard to take these goons seriously, but we have no choice. You see, they're responsible for what we've suffered over the last decade under Dalton McGuinty and now under Premier Wynne. And they're, in that sense, the front for the Liberal Party of Ontario. During the time that McGuinty ruined our province, Working Families spent, now get this, approximately $10 million on TV ads to ensure the Tories would not gain power. And in conjunction with lavish spending on advertising, the same unions behind Working Families also gave obscene amounts of money to the Liberal Party of Ontario. Over $500,000 in political donations since 2007. Of course, it's all done with the best of intentions. It's all about helping workers. Heaven forbid that backroom deals are on the table. The point, of course, is clear. These unions are either blindly or willingly supporting a regime that is ruining our province, and we'll look at that more closely next week. Who then should we blame for this mess? Well, the truth is, the union bosses who make up Working Families. They have made life worse, not better, for real, hardworking families in Ontario. I'm Tristan Emanuel. I make no apologies.